There's a new happening in suburbia, and it's the motorcycle. The wheels have been spinning across the country for a long time, carrying Hell's Angels and then hippies to their own kind of glory. Then came the film Easy Rider and Bronson too on television to tantalize the yearnings of everyday Americans. Suddenly the Yamaha, the Triumph, and the Harley Davidson were no longer the province of the youth culture. Provincials of the American middle class were learning that straight people need not live in straitjackets, at least not all the time. Today lawyers, insurance men, junior and not so junior executives are saying up the organization on the weekends. The president of one Dallas company is a connoisseur of motorcycles. He owns 5. One young man on the way up bought himself a 1970 Triumph, but had it fitted with 1967 hardware, so his wife wouldn't know how royally he'd really treated himself. While a psychiatrist reports that motorcycles figure prominently in the fantasies of his male patients, other men, including a Houston legislator, attribute their sanity and a new sense of freedom to their motorcycles. The motorbike movement among the respectable seems to be a part of a turning away from the traditional pleasures of the privileged class, where scorekeeping seems so often to substitute one set of tensions for another. To some, the golf course seems an extension, really, of the office. Tennis is still the premier sport of the beautiful people, but even some of them are finding their rackets too exacting. A growing number of Americans, in Dallas and elsewhere, are looking for something that offers relief from competition instead of compounding it. That thing, the Japanese like to tell us, is the motorcycle, and Japanese models virtually have made the new middle-class market with the slogan, "You meet the nicest people on a Honda." Ranging from $295 to $2,300, a trail or a touring bike is usually a better buy than most boats, or sports cars, or even dune buggies. It has a firmer resale value than a vacation house, and it's cheaper to maintain than country club dues. It doesn't depend on the wind to go, and you can ride it in the evenings through the neighborhood as easily as on the weekends at White Rock Lake. The big question is, how dangerous are they? In 1969, from a total of 133 traffic fatalities in Dallas, 6 were on motorcycles. 5 of those were wearing helmets, as required by state law, and 1 was not. So far this year, Dallas has had 63 traffic fatalities. 9 of those were pedestrians. None of them involved motorcycles. Police report that excessive speed is the chief cause of cycle accidents, and wet streets are the number one hazard. The 40 officers who man motorcycles in Dallas put them away on rainy days. For the civilian cyclist who's not a true believer, there's the mini bike. And for the non-joiner, there's a new kind of belonging. Easy riders, from hippies to hat salesmen, form, when they're on the road, a loose, unstructured community of their own, where no introductions are made and no questions are asked about what you do in real life. They simply flash the peace sign to each other in passing, an act, often as not, overlaid more with sociable than social implications, not unlike the Middle Eastern shalom. For years, Europeans have considered a motorcycle more sensible than a second car. But in automobile-abundant America, it's different. Here, the motorbike offers a new way for the person who's essentially Puritan to do something daring. And for those who would rather travel incognito, well, with a helmet on, who's to know it's you?